What's up, y'all? Talon here. Today I'm back with another series of high-level rank battles featuring top teams in the Regulation F metagame. Today I have a team that was created by Miguel Paquette, a Portuguese VGC player who was able to get top 32 at the EUIC with a very interesting composition of Pokemon, with Primarina and Iron Boulder being the big standouts. Miguel, I think, is a newer player to the scene, got top 8 as their their first big finish in the Lyle Regional, which is definitely a huge accomplishment. I believe they had it with Dondoozled, but this is definitely a huge departure from that and just the metagame in general, so I'm very excited to be featuring it on the channel. I have their Twitter account linked in the description below, as well as the Pokepaste, which I recreated from just basically putting the Pokemon in-game, and then this is actually Miguel's rental code, so this is the exact 6. So if you want to use the team for yourself on the Pokemon Showdown ladder, I have the Pokepaste in the description, and the rental code, of course, is in the top right of the video. If you enjoyed the videos, please subscribe to the channel. With all that being said, let's get into a quick breakdown of the team. So just looking at it very quickly, you can definitely see some composition or some elements that are very similar to other metagame teams. We have the Incineroar, Rillaboom, Swords Dance, Ogerpon combo that Wolfie won the, I believe, Scarlet Regional Championships with, so nothing really new there. A Flutter Mane, which is kind of interesting. It is a booster speed one, but it is Stellar Tera, which is definitely a huge departure. Usually we see a more defensive Tera or just a Fairy Tera, but this one trying to take advantage of Shadow Balls and Icy Winds instead of just the Fairy type Moonblast, which not really sure how I feel about that. Could be a cool decision, might have some calcs that go your way a little bit more if you do this. We'll see during the battles. And then, of course, the Primarina with the Calm Mind Terragrass Leftovers, benefiting from both the leftovers and the grassy terrain in a big way. And then Hyper Voice with the Liquid Voice, switching Hyper Voice over to a water type move, and then Moonblast is just generally good coverage. Terragrass is mainly to deal with Rillaboom, which would otherwise kind of just stifle your setup if you couldn't Tera. You'd get a couple Calm Minds up and then just get swatted by a Wood Hammer or a Grassy Glide, so you definitely don't want that. Then last up is the Iron Boulder, which is really the star of the team. I think it pairs well, or very, very well, with Incineroar and Rillaboom's Fake Out pressure, because you can go for Mighty Cleave and break through the opponent's protect. So you can basically do a Fake Out Mighty Cleave pin. They can't protect through the Mighty Cleave, so it's a very similar principle to using Urshifu, but you're using it with an Iron Boulder with a very different coverage move in the Rock type Mighty Cleave. Sin Headbutt is going to be your main secondary stab of choice, just a little less reliable than the Mighty Cleave because it is a 90 base power move. Close Combat and Mega Horn are just interesting coverage options. Mega Horn, notably, you can use it into Rillaboom. I believe that should net a one-hit knockout, also able to threaten that into Ogerpon. Wellspring form, so definitely some interesting options on this Iron Boulder, but general game plans for this team are either go for Incineroar or Rillaboom, cycle Fake Out and Intimidate and set up with a Swords Dance or a Primarina Calm Mind, or cycle that Fake Out to get the Iron Boulder in front of a Pokemon that I can just like Fake Out Mighty Cleave pin, or alternatively just go on the offensive right away, use Flutter Mane and Iron Boulder to Icy Wind anything that is faster than the Iron Boulder, which in itself is already very, very quick, and then finish it off with a Mighty Cleave or another move of choice that is just the right thing in that situation. So congratulations once again to Pearl on the top 32. Was just one win away from making it into contention for the top cut, so really impressive performance for a Pokemon that really was not on a lot of people's radar, actually both Primarina and Iron Boulder, so congratulations, really looking forward to seeing more things from them in the future. If you enjoy these team breakdowns and the battles, please subscribe to the channel, and with all that being said, let's get into those battles now. Alright, up against number 42 on the ladder actually, they have Whimsicott, Flutter Mane, Farigiraf, Ogerpon, Urshifu, and Entei. So I see all these fire types. I see a Flutter Mane, I think Sunny Day Whimsicott. I also see Fake Tears on the Flutter Mane, or Fake Tears Flutter Mane combination essentially. But we don't have such a simple solution as Grassy Glide all those guys, or anything else, just because of the Farigiraf in the back, so we do have to be conscious of that. Knowing whether they're Tera Dark would be pretty cool, but I think I'm just going to go Flutter Mane lead. It's pretty proactive against a lot of their guys, and Flutter could be cool as well in some ways, but I actually don't think Flutter Mane Iron Boulder is that bad of a lead here. Yeah. And I think the challenge is definitely going to be how do we handle, say, an Urshifu in the back? That could be annoying. Like Water Urshifu plus Tera. I think they're a Sun team. I don't think they would be Water Urshifu, so I'm going to bet against that and prioritize dealing with the... I really feel like this guy could be pretty effective here, and then I do need to count for some stuff. I think I'm going to go actually with the Incineroar in the back. So interesting combination of Pokemon here, but they also have an interesting combination. So got to get creative. I think Iron Boulder definitely has its spots here. If they don't lead the Whimsicott, then depending on their flutter speed, we do get to Icy Wind, Mighty Cleave some stuff, which I like. Just depends on if that's the case. All right, Flutter. It was the water one. That's kind of frustrating. We don't have the speed we need to actually outspeed the Urshifu, unfortunately. That's pretty tragic, actually. Okay. Yeah, I went all in on it being another type of Urshifu, so we are kind of cooked, I think. I'm gonna Icy Wind because I think there's a chance if they are not Choice Scarf. They don't have Incineroar in the back. Yeah, this is dicey. I'm gonna go Icy Wind, Zen Headbutt, but I think Tailwind, if they are Choice Scarf, Surging Strikes is pretty free, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I just didn't bring the counter, but we Zen Headbutt, and if we connect, we should knock out the Urshifu, provided it is not a Focus Sash. Focus Sash Urshifu Water, which is pretty uncommon, so I'm fine with this. And yeah, we do take the knockout. They might not even know the typing of Iron Boulder. I kind of forget it's a Psychic type, but yeah, that works out pretty well for us. Pokemon in the back could be Entei, could be a whole number of things, right? They did set up Tailwind. I feel like it's most likely a fire type that comes out here. So I'm going to bring up Primarina because I think it's more proactive than the Incineroar, and I have a fairly safe switch into Incin next turn. Yeah, there's the Ogerpon. They can Tera, though, and probably have Woodhammer, which is, of course, a concern. But I feel like Fake Out switch is fairly safe. Parting Shot is definitely a concern, though. Oh, yeah. Parting Shot would really do me in, I think. Yikes. Okay. I think I'm gonna... I can always KO the... I think I'm gonna get some damage into the Whimsicott here and switch into the Incin. Because they could go for Fake Tears, they could go for Sunny Day, they could really do a lot here. Sunny Day could even just be used defensively, and then like I don't get a ton of value out of my Hyper Voice. In fact, I'm always just going to knock them out with a Mighty Cleave anyways. But yeah, Woodhammer, Terrifier would be kind of annoying for sure. They don't know I'm Choice Banned, I imagine. Like they can't be certain of it, so a Mighty Cleave is definitely a threat. So we could see a Woodhammer coming out onto the Incineroar slot. But I'm not holding my breath. I feel like Sunny Day. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's the Sunny Day. So they're covering themselves defensively. So I kind of doubt they're going... Yeah, they're going Ivy Cudgel. Okay, they read a Tera. So if that crits, I probably die. It doesn't. Cool. So they have to double tap me to take a knockout. Ooh, that's good for sure. How's this work out? 2 turns of Tailwind. I feel like it's Farigiraf in the back. Ooh, Choice Scarf Eruption I should be concerned about for sure. But if I can stall a turn... I think I'd be fine if I could stall a turn. Yeah, I don't really know how to confront this situation because I think I'm shy 1 turn of Tailwind. And I was expecting Primarina to go down there. Definitely a ton of damage was threatened that turn though. They do Encore, so very glad that I called that and didn't go for like Moonblast or something, or a Hyper Voice or something like that. Superpower. That's interesting. Does a ton of damage and maybe chips me into some dangerous ranges here, but not the end of the world. We are locked into Moonblast though. That's bad. Gonna be an interesting one. We have full HP on the Primarina, but we're not threatening a ton of damage. I think Entei in the back would be like pretty bad, actually. Oh, Farigiraf's totally manageable, actually, for sure. So locked into Moonblast, which is eh. Do I think they Ivy Cudgel the Iron Boulder, truthfully. Yeah, that's a tricky spot for me, actually. Yeah, it's just a hard spot. Because if they Trick Room, Ivy Cudgel this spot, I think I'd maybe lose. I'm not sure. I'm going to switch into Incin and Moonblast. I'm not... I think they play this solidly. And things get weird. Because if I could Calm Mind, I think I would have a chance. Actually, they are -1 on the Ogerpon. Ivy Cudgel comes out. If they get a crit on anything, we're just flying off the field. Yeah. So maybe what I could... Hyper Voice, sure, fair. Doesn't knock me out. Probably worse. Probably worse that it didn't knock me out. Yeah, probably worse, for sure. So Tailwind goes. I'm still locked, of course, unfortunately. I could Tera Ghost. That'd be an interesting option for sure. Like Tera Ghost to get out of... Well, we knock out the Farigiraf, don't we? And we might even outspeed it. Probably no. Yeah, interesting spot. I think I'm going to go Tera here. Just use it in case they commit on the Farigiraf to go for Hyper Voice or something. Because really, if I can survive their Farigiraf's hit on the... If I can survive Farigiraf's attack on my Primarina, then I knock that out no matter what. Yeah, they never crit their Ivy Cudgel, which is super fortunate. But yeah, we do avoid their Hyper Voice. I think they'll probably KO us here. Oh, they don't. Okay, yeah, then we should just lock. But if they had knocked me out, then what I could have done still is Mighty Cleave the Ogerpon, and then Flare Blitz the Farigiraf. And unless they are Dazzling Gleam and that crits my... Yeah, I think they would have needed to Ivy Cudgel. Well, they needed an Ivy Cudgel crit at some point, but if they had maybe had Dazzling Gleam and crit the Dazzling Gleam onto my Incineroar Iron Boulder combo, then maybe they win. But yeah, I think we managed to play out of a pretty weird matchup here after also just not expecting it to be the Urshifu water form and still come out on top, so decently happy about that. No more turns of Tailwind. I don't know, maybe they have Quick Attack. That'd be weird. I think at this point I'm kind of convinced they do not have... Yeah, I'm convinced they don't have like a Quick Attack or something weird. Mighty Cleave should KO them, and yeah, they do cancel, so... Oof, really, really close battle against them. Had a lot of fun with that, but I think Farigiraf in the back ended up being a little less scary than like Choice Scarf Eruption Entei would have been, which would have been terrifying, to be clear, with the Sunny Day. I think that might have been what they were going for, but given all the priority on my team and Mighty Cleave, they were probably just trying to avoid a fake out Mighty Cleave pin on the Ogerpon, which is definitely understandable. So that aspect of our team scared them off, and a lot of the aspects of their team scared me off from doing certain options, so ended up working out in our favor, and yeah, good game to them. All right, my opponent has a cool team. They have Hatterene, Indeedee, Torkoal, Iron Hands, and then that is the Trick Room Pokemon, and then the Walking Wake and the Flutter Mane, not so Trick Room Pokemon. I think Calm Mind on Primarina is a solid option for us. Ogerpon also very, very solid, I think, just offensively right off the bat. Megahorn could be cute because it knocks out Indeedee, I believe. I have high special defense, so I can handle the Torkoal. Yeah, that could be cute. Rillaboom's tempting for the Grassy Glide pressure. Maybe Incin too, though. I think I could slow play this pretty successfully, honestly. Yeah, and that might be the angle I take. That seems really solid, honestly. Iron Boulder could be cool. Flutter with the speed booster might be more consistent. I'm thinking of terastallizing my Rillaboom pretty early this battle, just to give you an idea of what I'm planning. So I think they're going to lead Indeedee Hatterene. If they do not, then I am threatening a ton of damage with my Ivy Cudgels and my... Sorry. If they lead the faster mode, I'm threatening them really hard with switch to Rillaboom, Tera, Fire, Grassy Glide, just knocking out pretty much anything if they don't commit a defensive Tera. Hatterene, Iron Hands. Okay, fair enough. So not committing to the Psychic Terrain I think is wise here. But I'm also threatening a 1-hit KO on their Hatterene, which is, of course, not ideal for them. Also not ideal for me is them threatening Wild Charge, though. Got to be wary of that. I could forfeit my... Not knowing the Tera on this guy is really annoying, for sure. I feel like it's Tera... It's got to be Tera on the Hatterene, yeah? Otherwise I just knock it out with Wood Hammer. Might be overcommitting here. Oh, I think Fake Out's probably better than a Wild Charge here, yeah? Because they have to terastallize one of them. But that might be a mistake. Yeah, they're going to terastallize into Fire there. Sure, makes sense. So maybe their Wild Charge... Yeah, I thought about Hyper Voicing in case they get cheeky and don't Fake Out. But they do Fake Out. Cool. So we're going to get the Swords Dance up, which I think is super high value. And we have the option to double protect and stall a turn at Trick Room, which I'm down with, for sure. Could have attacked the Iron Hands, though, which... more high value, given I might switch out the Ogerpon in a few turns, but, you know, we can't be Nostradamus. Could have maybe had a little bit more foresight, though. Switch to Torkoal is fair on their side, I think. Tera Grass would be cute. Do I think they can knock me out with an Expanding Force? I think it's possible, for sure. But Torkoal's maybe a better switch-in for them. I think I will just double protect, and they don't switch out, so I feel like I'm going to be rewarded for that, at least partially. So what I'm thinking next turn, I have to run the Calc on the Iron Hands, but I feel like I can... Calm Mind is crazy. Okay. Good play. Very good play. Wild Charge, fair enough. Yeah, I'm going to look at +2 Terrifier Grassy Glide in Grassy Terrain. What are we doing with that? It would normally knock out a Hatterene, but a Terrifier Hatterene we're not getting close to, so that's annoying. And Iron Hands we're also probably not getting close to. Yeah, Iron Hands we are not getting there with. Am I running this Calc wrong? I feel like Grassy Glide should be doing more damage, but that's okay. I think I'm going to switch to Rilla here. And Ivy Cudgel surely knocks them out, right? It might not. Yikes, okay. Yeah, I tear it here, but maybe I shouldn't have. We are pretty guaranteed to be the slower switch out here, so they can't, unless they're Volt Switch. do any cute Volt Switch into the Indeedee shenanigans, which I think would be really, really bad for me. But I don't know if they have the room on their sets. Hopefully they just Wild Charge, like, Expanding Force. I'm not sure, though. Hard to say, definitely. The Ogerpon was just such a big threat to them. They might double it up with, like, Close Combat Psychic, which really would make me look pants on head. But they go for Dazzling Gleam, which does so much damage. My goodness. Yeah, and they CC. GG. Yep, so they got me that turn. If I had Calm Minded or something, I maybe could get it back. Yeah, Calm Mind on the Hatterene. Definitely very uncommon, but proves to be super effective for them there. I think I'm going to go Primarina, because I guess this battle isn't necessarily over. It's looking pretty bad, but not quite over. We might have the turns to be able to stomach this. 2 turns? Yeah, I can get a Calm Mind up here if I get aggressive. I think this is going to be Calm Mind or something. It could just be Switch, huh? I think it's probably Switch out. And I think I'll fold to a Expanding Force on the Flutter, get my Rillaboom back in, and then maybe actually sweep the battle with Calm Mind Primarina somehow. I think there's just enough resources to do it if they make the right plays, or the wrong plays. But the Rillaboom switched out before, so we probably do not get there, actually. Which stinks. They maybe never had Indeedee in the back, which would have been a super heads-up play. We might have just sacked our Flutter. Exciting. Oh my god, Dazzle does a lot. I don't think that damage is super relevant here, but yeah, they did not make that read. So I could have gone for Calm Mind and done a ton of damage, like maybe even gotten a... What are they, Dazzling Gleaming again? Probably. Oh, I've already Tera'd. LMAO. That's really bad. Yikes. Alright. Alright, we're switching around then. If they switch out to Indeedee here, well played. No, they don't. Interesting. So Rillaboom does threaten the Hatterene with high horsepower, and I'm pretty sure they don't have Protect, but they are threatening like knockouts left and right with their Pokemon. Losing the Tera on the Rillaboom made things a little trickier. Okay, Calm Mind's fine. I think damage is probably better for you there. They CC the Rilla, great play. But yeah, no, they wall charge. I don't have a Tera to spend. I feel like Moonblast should not knock them out by any means, but Shadow Ball, high horsepower is probably a KO in the hat. And then it really does just depend on who they have in the back to close this. Do I have to go for that? No, I think they have Indeedee in the back. It's possible for sure. So I'm going to go high horsepower, Shadow Ball, and see if we can KO. No switch out once again, so we could have gone for Fake Out Moonblast and been a little better. Oh, yeah, the Calm Mind ends up being the difference maker there, which is pretty cool. Really awesome set from them. Like, the Calm Mind Hatterene was just perfect for them. Punished my double protect really solidly and gave them just enough HP and defense to beat my Rillaboom. And now I honestly don't think a Grassy Glide will even knock them out. And even if I did, it wouldn't matter because of the because of the undamaged Iron Hands. Is there any way to win this? Grassy Glide, live a Wild Charge, which I, to be clear, do not do. Yeah, I don't think this is worth playing out, honestly. But yeah, really well played to them. Might as well. I'll let you guys see it. So I'm pretty sure we just lose to Wild Charge or something like that. But maybe they have the worst Pokemon possible in the back. I want to see what they have. I don't think high horsepower even knocks them out. whatever. Let's assume they are min attack here. Minimum attack, wild charge, they don't knock me out or they start playing around. Oh my god, did they finally switch into the Indeedee? That's so funny. Got me, dude. That's really funny. I mean, the game was already won. And I think there was probably a bunch of situations where them going for the play they made instead of just making the obvious switch to Indeedee could have lost them the game. But I didn't make any of the plays that would have done that, so definitely just the ultimate swag out to get the final turn with the expanding force on the Indeedee switch I thought was coming literally the whole battle. Well played. Absolutely dumpstered on. Alright, my opponent Arya has an interesting team. They have Wellspring Ogerpon, Archaladon, Flutter Mane, Rillaboom, Incineroar, and the Zapdos Galar. Zapdos Galar is interesting. I feel like usually their Choice Scarf. I could actually see I could see Primarina being quite solid here with Tera Grass, so I'm going to try and preserve that, I think. I think Incineroar is also pretty good. I think I might just go this. I don't really want to be intimidating much. Actually, yeah, I don't really need to intimidate anything. So I'm going to go with the Flutter Mane Iron Boulder strategy to lead off with, and then go with the Fake Out plus Tera Grass plus Grassy Surge plus Leftovers for maximum durability on the Primarina. I think if I can get a Calm Mind up and a little chip on the Incineroar, I should be good. To just like defensively wall everything except for that Incineroar and then knock it out with a Hyper Voice. And with high horsepower on the Rillaboom, I should be good to get there. So Incineroar, Ogerpon, I'm actually glad to see that early, for sure. I think I'm going to switch in the Rillaboom on the Iron Boulder slot, I think. Here, Intimidate would be quite strong, but, you know, it's not there. Can't do anything about that. Super susceptible defensively on the Iron Boulder side, so got to be careful about that. I think Rillaboom is my best switch here. Getting some damage into that guy would be good, like the Ogerpon. I think I have enough bulk to tank something. So yeah, I think I'm gonna Moonblast the Ogerpon and switch into my Rillaboom. I'll be threatening Fake Out on the Incineroar next turn, and maybe a Stellar Tera to knock out their Ogerpon. If they don't Tera this turn, and if they do, then they're threatened by Grassy Glide. I think Parting Shot would be reasonable from them, or Knockoff here. But they could also just Fake Out Raw. So we are seeing a Tera, so Incineroar switch in would have been cool for Intimidate, but I would have been definitely susceptible to a lot of damage. But now, if they don't Parting Shot, I am pinning them down pretty hard with my Rillaboom. Oh, and they Fake Out. That's totally fine. Thought about protecting the Flutter Mane, but I feel like this play is definitely more active and gets me to... Oh, Swords Dance? That's totally fine. Yeah, in front of the Rillaboom, I think that's a little questionable. How fast is my Rillaboom? That's definitely important. Because I think I should live a Flare Blitz unless they're like pretty close to max attack. Yeah, I won't outspeed them after an Icy Wind, unfortunately. Bummer. I think I like Moonblast Fake Out here into the Incineroar. Any reason to click anything else? Like, I could high horsepower, but I don't think it's super valuable. Moonblast hits everything pretty hard. Yeah, I'm just gonna go... I just need a little Moonblast chip on this Incineroar. Yeah, they protect the Ogerpon, which makes sense. If I want to get greedy, I don't think I have to get greedy is the thing. Like, I could go for Icy Wind Woodhammer onto the Ogerpon, but I don't think that really gains me that much. Maximum greed would be Tera Stellar Incineroar. Hope I knock that out, but I think I'm actually shy on that. So I think I'm going to go Moonblast just double up into the Ogerpon. I think I should knock them out. How much attack does this Rillaboom have, actually? That's definitely relevant. 167 is pretty low. But it is super effective. I think given we did a lot with the previous turn, I think Grassy Glide Moonblast should knock out. Oh. Okay. That makes sense. Usually I see Swords Dance, Tera Fire. Okay. Yeah, we knock out anyways, but we lose our Flutter for our troubles. I think getting the damage on the Incineroar is all we needed, though. For the most part, we'll see. And if they do any damage to my yeah, they're going to do a lot of damage to themselves, but they do take a big chunk of my Rillaboom's health. So Grassy Glide, Ogerpon, Wellspring is definitely very uncommon, I think. The Hearth Flame form, as we have on our team, is pretty common, but not really used to seeing this one. Okay, Primarina. I am a little susceptible to Flutter Mane here. Okay, it's not ideal. If they like Moonblast drop me, oh, Zapdos is fine. I don't think that gets Wild Charge or anything silly like that, so we should be good to go for a, honestly, Calm Mind. I could Hyper Voice or I could Calm Mind here. So if I can deal with the Incineroar, that's solid for sure, but they have a free switch here, basically. I think they're probably going to switch out. Like if they switch into Archaludon, that's really bad for me, I think. So I'm going to go Calm Mind, because worst case I get a special defense drop, and I will go for a high horsepower into the Incineroar, hoping they target me with Zapdos. Thunderous Kick, okay. Yep, so I believe that's a fighting type move, which is beneficial for my Boulder in the back. And we are confirmed to be outspeeding the Incineroar. Would have been probably better to go for a Hyper Voice in this situation, but yeah, we had no way of knowing if they were going to switch into Archaludon or something, and if they do, then I'd really rather not give it a stamina boost for no reason, and also just getting the special defense drop against anything in the back is valuable here. And the Incin is off the field, which is good. Flutter Mane, yep, makes sense. And now we get the Iron Boulder in, which I think is solid. Speed boost or special attack? So they get the speed boost, which is better for, maybe worse for us, I don't know. But I think Tera Fairy is now looking pretty solid. There's no real reason to go for Tera Grass anymore. And I should just be able to lock Mighty Cleave. And I think everything should fold to Hyper Voice Mighty Cleave. The Zapdos, if it's like a choiced item, is not a threat at all. I guess a -1 Choice Band Hyper Voice might not knock out their Flutter Mane, but I really do expect it to. They'd have to be mad bulky, and we do get the benefit of having that that delicious Mighty Cleave secondary effect of breaking through Protect. So they are switching out the Zapdos, trying to get that Intimidate. They've already Terra'd, so they don't have a way to knock out my Tera Fairy Iron Boulder. The Tera coming in clutch here, and then Hyper Voice, unless they drop me with on like a Moonblast, won't be able to stop the knockout into Incineroar. I think they probably switched out the Zapdos because they were locked into Thunderous Kick, which is a fighting move, which would be very bad against Primarina and like not ideal against the Iron Boulder by any means. So there is Shadow Ball. We were correct in them going for that. We would have, oh, actually would not have dropped. That's interesting. Mighty Cleave does a ton, and I believe a neutral Hyper Voice should be enough to clean up the Flutter Mane. I was wrong. Okay. Okay. That makes things tricky for sure. We should live a Moonblast now. Grass disappearing is also kind of bad. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think if I had, say... Yeah, it's going to be close, I'd say. I think they... So, which is better here for us? Calm Mind or Protect? Calm Mind or Hyper Voice, rather. If they Brave Bird, let me look up Iron Boulder's bulk. It doesn't have crazy... It actually has weaker defense than it does special defense, so I think I'll actually fold. So I think what I'm going to go for is Calm Mind. Oh, they do attack. Okay, interesting. And they don't knock me out, and we outspeed the Zapdos. Okay, so unless they crit us, we should have that locked, because we're always going to be undersped or outsped by that Zapdos on the Primarina slot. Okay, they did double the Boulder, so interesting. I feel like if you are a speed booster Flutter and you have Icy Wind, I think Brave Bird is probably a more likely KO there. But I also could have Moonblasted here and knocked out the Zapdos. Brave Bird, I believe, has enough PP where this just isn't relevant. Like, I don't have to be going for anything kooky like a series of Protects to get them out of range. Oops. Yeah, Moonblast should be a KO here. I was trying to select over my stats to verify that, but we'll see how much, if this is Choice Band or not. Doesn't look like it. If they had been, it might have knocked out. I'm not sure. But yeah, good game to them. Yeah, unless they were Assault Vest, they had no chance of taking that. And if they did, yeah, then we do lose because Leftovers doesn't heal enough. But yeah, good game to them. I do think that was a solid game for Primarina. We kind of targeted down the Ogerpon early. They revealed their Tera, and then we're like, oh, okay, we don't even have to burn our Primarina Tera to threaten their whole team after a Calm Mind. And then that kind of came to pass, and we were able to shift our Tera focus onto the Iron Boulder. And even though we didn't net the important knockout with the Mighty Cleave, we got enough chip off while tanking a couple hits actually, to secure the game with Primarina in the end. And we did get surprised by the Grassy Glide Ogerpon. I think if we don't lose the Flutter Mane that easily on that turn, we do probably just win the game, so or a lot more convincingly. So yeah, I think the game plan there was decently solid. It felt a little maybe susceptible to some reads on the first turn switch. Like if they had Flare Blitzed me, double attacked into it to cover for something, that could have been tricky. But at the same time, they did also have to cover for me just double attacking into the Ogerpon with Moonblast Mighty Cleave, which probably doesn't knock out, but they don't know if I'm like Tera Fair. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of things up in the air, but I feel like that first turn they could have capitalized a little better on their solid offensive position, given I didn't have Intimidate in the back. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with the game plan there. Okay, my opponent is pretty high on the ladder with Dondozo plus Chien-Pao Dragonite and then Torn Goldango. So pretty scary. I'd imagine Tailwind is kind of hard for this team. You really do want to be relying on speed control with the Flutter Mane for the Iron Boulder, so we might not be able to bring it this match. But yeah, I could imagine the Dondozo actually being a huge pain for us. I feel like this might be Oblivious Dondozo though. Like that seems reasonably likely. One idea I have is to set just lead this and threaten with Fake Out into the Dondozo. I think Incineroar is a pretty strong lead overall. Not sure what to follow it up with, but I definitely think the Incin is my lead. Could lead Flutter Mane. I think that's definitely tempting, but might leave me susceptible to a... I could actually see Heart Flame being pretty cool. Outside of that Dragonite being a bit of an issue. Yeah, otherwise I would just lead the Heart Flame. Dondozo probably doesn't do that well against this guy, honestly. And I think I'll go triple starter plus the Iron Boulder here. I think Iron Boulder can apply some good pressure early on against everything but the Goldango. Maybe, I don't know. It kind of depends on what they're throwing down. Could be worried about the Dragonite. I guess turn 1, if they lead the Dragonite, I'm in a bit of a pickle where I can either go for Mighty Cleave and knock it out if it doesn't Tera, or go for a close combat if it does Tera, but definitely might be getting ahead of myself, but something to be thinking about. Okay, Dragonite Chien-Pao, fair enough. I do feel like this is... We'll see what the Dondozo is. Yeah, it was Oblivious, which we kind of expected. I could Mighty Cleave. Ooh, I do want to use Will-O-Wisp on this Dondozo, I'd imagine, in a bit. I feel like Fake Out Mighty Cleave is pretty safe unless they are a... like Covert Cloak or Tera Ghost, so I think I will go Mighty Cleave. Yeah, they're going to switch out the Dragonite. I was tempted to Mighty Cleave the Dondozo, but definitely would have been a pretty hard read. We'll see what's kind of sauce the Dondozo has. If it is Covert Cloak, they got me, and I might just lose on the spot, but we'll see. Covert Cloak or Tera Ghost is what we do not want to see here. So they're getting their boost. Good for them. Yeah, you hate to see it. I have seen like Choice Banded. Maybe I should have switched into the Rillaboom here. Probably my bad. Yeah, I've seen Choice Banded Tera Ghost before. That's like not unheard of, so Earthquake's gonna hit me pretty hard here, unfortunately. Thought about Tera Ghosting, or yeah, Tera Ghosting on my Incineroar myself, but it just didn't seem right. Ah, man, I could have... They're slower than the Iron Boulder, so good to know it was Earthquake. I feel like they're probably Choice Band, but at this point I might just be out of the battle here. Yeah, they nearly take a double KO, which is super problematic, of course. Guess the question, Life Orb, okay. I think I'm going to go Primarina, because Rillaboom isn't like that useful. Life Orb, Tera Ghost Dondozo, very interesting. But yeah, my instinct was, yes, this is probably, like when you're playing a high ranked Japanese player, it does often feel like, okay, yeah, just assume the worst, and the worst will always come. But yeah, let's see what we can do here. I think I'm going to Calm Mind and try, yeah, they are Oblivious, so Calm Mind, like I'm not working against an unaware Dozo, so setting up on the Primarina will be immediately useful instead of the alternative, but they can also Tera Ghost me with Tera Blast if they have that, which wouldn't surprise me over Order Up or something. Yeah, there is the Tera Blast. Yikes, okay. Yeah, good play. They're just reading me to filth. Oh my god. That's crazy damage. So if I can Wood Hammer this into Grassy Glide range, I have a chance, but that does seem pretty unlikely. That did crazy damage. Yeah, well played from them. They definitely have just been getting me. Open team sheet Dozo. I guess closed team sheet Dozo. Everyone's worst nightmare. I feel like this is Protect, or they would expect a Protect here. So I might just go... Would Hammer Hyper Voice? I don't know. Maybe I Calm Mind again, get queued on him. Probably not. I think I'll just double attack. Like, I think they're going to Tera Blast my Rillaboom here. Just make it... Oh, that's also a really good option on their side. Okay, yeah, we got crushed. So that means most likely no Wave Crash or no Protect. So, very interesting set from them. They got it, for sure. Oh, that did nothing. What? That did no damage. That is insane. Okay. Yeah, well played to my opponent. I'll send in the Incin here. But I think... Yikes, okay. That was super dominant from them. I'm not even going to take a KO here. They're not even going to let me. Yeah, that's a cool set. That can definitely really catch you off guard. And like my instinct looking at their whole team was, okay, Incineroar, Tera Ghost kind of clears here. If I lead right. Because I can take a KO on pretty much everything with Mighty Cleave or Flare Blitz. But yeah, I didn't count on them having anything but the Tornadus or the Shenpao that would be immune to Fake Out. So... that is definitely where things went super wrong. So I'll just lock in the forfeit here and go from there. Yeah. I mean, best I could have done there was, I guess, Mighty Cleave the... I think the best I could have done was, like, Mighty Cleave their Dondozo turn 1 and, like, made the read it was going to Tera Ghost. Like, I kind of had it in my head. Like, it's either Covert Cloak or Tera Ghost. Otherwise, I feel like I have a decent shot on the lead here, but yeah, turns out to be the Tera Ghost, and it hit like a truck, yeah. With the Life Orb, just really solid best of one Dondozo item. They're definitely ready for the GC. Whoa, okay. My opponent here has a Sand team with Tyranitar, Excadrill, Zapdos, Galar, seeing more of that than I'm used to. Flutter Mane, Amoonguss, and Farigiraf. So, cool team. We have no way on our side to override the weather, unfortunately. I think our Flutter Mane will still... We have a good mix of power and bulk, but we are a little bit slower on this booster speed Flutter Mane. So we can't Icy Wind the Excadrill, unfortunately. We're also weak to Iron Head on either like pre and post Tera, which is kind of annoying. Incin, very good lead against everything on this team except for Rando Clear Ambulance as well as Defiant, so got to be conscious of that. But I think that might be a trade I'm decently comfortable making. I also like this on lead a fair bit. That seems really strong. Yeah, interesting team from them. I'm kind of at a loss at what to do against it overall, but we'll figure something out. We will figure something out for sure. Is Ogerpon good here? I don't think so. I think Flutter's great, and then maybe should have been the Ogerpon, but I feel like the double rock type plus the flying type is not ideal, but it does do very well into the Amoonguss and potentially the Farigiraf, and of course Flutter Mane if we have the terrain up. But yeah, interesting squad from them. Not sure what the sets will be and how to approach it, but we'll take it as it comes. Tyranitar plus this guy, so pretty happy with that lead overall. They could be Quick Guard. Could be a whole number of things. I feel like U-turn is reasonably likely here. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about this. I think I'm going to go Calm Mind Fake Out, though. Can I afford to do that? Maybe, maybe not. I feel like U-turn is their most likely play here. Or Terrastalize the Tyranitar. So I want to be ready for that. But I think I'm going to fake out the Galarian Zapdos here, which they switch out the Tyranitar. Ooh, I forgot about Farigiraf in the back, so good play there. They are also stifling our pressure. Are they Tera Flying? That could really hurt. Tera Steel. Okay, so we'll be locking into Hyper Voice in front of that instead. But yeah, definitely got on this turn. Could have gone... I usually forget about Farigiraf in best of one. I just feel like they're threatening so much offense and you don't know what's coming that it's definitely very scary to handle. But good damage there. I can't switch into Incineroar now, unfortunately. But I think they might be in range of a knockout here with Hyper Voice. Hard to say. Hard to say for sure. I think I'm honestly maybe comfortable going for an interesting play here. I think I could Tera Stellar Shadow Ball their Zapdos and feel pretty decent about it. I forget how low Galarian Zapdos' special defense stat is. I imagine it's like not bad. It is Zapdos, but haven't played against enough of them. 90 base. I just really don't want to risk them being Assault Vest is the only thing. Yeah, we'll see. I feel like Shadow Ball short for sure if they're AV, even if we Tera, I think. But we have 160 special attack. That's going to be really close with a Tera Stellar Shadow Ball. I think we'll actually fall short. So what I want to do is actually... Yeah, that's pretty sketchy. I think I'll just go Hyper Voice Protect here. I think I'll live a Helping Hand attack unless they're Choice Banded. But they could set up Trick Room, in which case I'll have wasted my booster energy. But yeah, they do Brave Bird into my Flutter though, so we call that right, and we should be knocking this in range of either Shadow Ball or Hyper Voice if they set up Trick Room. Yeah, I think not knocking out there is good. Oh, Psychic Noise, that's pretty cool. That eliminates both Grassy Terrain healing and Leftovers, I believe. The only question now... Oh, Throat Spray? Psychic Noise is a Throat Spray move? That's weird. Okay. I should be outspeeding them though, and I have a knockout with Moonblast, so I think I will just go probably maybe double Moonblast. Is that necessary, or should I just Shadow Ball? I think Moonblast on this slot makes more sense. Just don't deal with this guy setting up Tailwind or anything like that, or Trick Room or anything. I think Shadow Ball into you is safe. We saw that we outsped them last turn on the Farigiraf, so I feel comfortable with that. But I think getting that Calm Mind on the first turn and then getting that targeting right was definitely super important. And them going for Brave Bird into Flutter is maybe suggestive that they don't want to go into Tailwind this match. But yeah, we're going to Shadow Ball and knock out the Zapdos, which happy to get rid of that. That was a big question mark on whatever the heck that thing was doing the whole match. It's really the scariest part of Best of 1 is just not knowing what's coming. Oh boy. Yeah, I gotta find a new outlet to be plugging this webcam into. Sorry y'all, this keeps happening. I'm gonna figure that out in between now and the next video and make sure it doesn't happen again. I think it's just, this never used to happen, so I think it's like I have it on a multi-USB strip now because I was trying to just consolidate everything, but I think that is just causing... Sorry, completely disconnected the recording there, but yeah, overall I think having it on a multi-strip is not to get too into the weeds, but I'll figure it out. I'll make it not happen in the future. I have not used my Tera yet, which is cool. If I can stop Sand, then I can just outspeed with the Flutter Mane and deal with that. I think I'm just going to go for Protect here. See what they're going to go for. I think worst case is they go for a Swords Dance or a Substitute on something. But my worry was clear Amulet on the Excadrill here, and I'm also just trying to stall out a Protect or something. But they go for Iron Head, fair enough. And they go for Heavy Slam, interesting. So I wonder if their Choice Band, or I think if their Choice Band they would have locked Rock Slide there. I think I will live a... I guess my fear is them being something crazy. We are healing a lot of HP here. I think if I can ship the Excadrill down... I don't know. How fast is my Incin? Because if I Icy Wind them here, that could be cool. Not fast enough after an Icy Wind to basically handle that, so... I probably should just go for... Hyper Voice Switch. I think that's the safest play. I could imagine some ways this goes wrong. Namely, them being Assault Vest or a Weakness Policy Tyranitar. I think that's like non-zero. But we are going to lower their attack on that, and actually also on the Excadrill. So their only deterrent was the... Yeah, that doesn't do a whole lot of damage. And we don't flinch, so yeah, that's really important. And they were Focus Sash, but given Sand's about to end, we will just be able to clean that up later on. With the Flutter, of course, and it is Heavy Slam into the Incin, so things are looking pretty solid here. Sand is going to end this turn, Grassy Terrain as well, so they'll get one last chip of healing. But I think I feel pretty solid about just going Moonblast, Fake Out into the Tyranitar, or Tyranitar, Moonblast, Fake Out into the Excadrill, because we outspeed the Tyranitar. Should be knocking them out with the Moonblast. No, we won't knock them out with Moonblast, actually. Probably better to... Yeah, we Fake Out the Excadrill because we don't want to get flinched, but on the case we don't knock them out with Fake Out or something like that. or they don't protect, yeah, we want to take that knockout. And given the Moonblast probably doesn't knock out the Tyranitar anyways, well, I guess that's not a given. They healed a bit. We probably did like 35% with Hyper Voice on the last turn. They lose their Sand, so that's up 50%. Oh, we would have knocked out with Moonblast. I'm a fool. I am a fool. Okay. Grand Scheme probably doesn't matter. I just go for Protect, Flare Blitz here. And they need to crit a... if they Heavy Slam the Incin, great play. Basically, my worry is I protect Primarina, I get flinched in a turn or something silly. Yeah, with Heavy Slam, I could lose. Like, there's a world, I think, where I lose. But I only lose if I get crit and red this turn. Whereas if I simply get flinched on Incineroar, or like double flinched, I think I lose, and that's taking the Rock Slide accuracy out of account. That's basically Iron Head flinches me, that's 30%. Rock Slide flinches me, that's another 30%, that's 9%, and a critical hit is like 4.25%. So I'm basing this play off them, 1, needing to get the crit, and 2, like, get the crit later in the game, and then 2, get the read on the Heavy Slam, which I think is pretty unlikely. So just a small play, but I think it does take us a little higher in the odds of winning this game. And even if they do Heavy Slam here, they also have to then get the crit, or actually I think I win anyways, because if they Heavy Slam the Flutter Mane, I bring in Incineroar, I go Fake Out Hyper Voice, win, and then I just have to not get Rock Slide flinched or like double crit or something silly, and then I have Tera to circumvent that. So kind of forgot I had Tera this game, but overall, yeah, I think we have this locked. Yeah, good game to my opponent. They see the writing on the walls. I do have a pretty simple double attack for the win there. Good game to them. It was definitely very scary, but I feel like the targeting on the turn 1 might have left a little to be desired. I don't think the Rillaboom was much of a threat. So long, I mean, they worried about Moonblast, but I do think given how powerful the Primarina was against the rest of their Pokemon, like Tyranitar, Excadrill, Farigiraf after a Calm Mind, they didn't really have any matchup as long as I had Calm Mind and Intimidate in the back. So I think dealing some significant early damage, as well as having the Sand to mitigate the Leftovers Grassy Terrain recovery, was really a pretty solid line for them. That I was more worried about, but didn't end up having to worry about it because of the Brave Bird targeting into the Rillaboom. So that's going to do it for Battles Today, featuring Pearl's top 32 at EUIC team, featuring the Primarina and the Iron Boulder. They're definitely really impressive to me, more so than I expected. So the Calm Mind Primarina able to set up effectively for special attackers later in the game, while you're in against physical attackers that don't really have a lot of offense into you, as well as having Tera Grass into the few things that do, namely Rillaboom. And the Iron Boulder just pairs really well with the Fake Out, double Fake Out core that pairs well with the Calm Mind and the Swords Dance on the other Pokemon on the team. So I think overall, yeah, very cool team. Congratulations to Pearl. Hoping for more really cool team building efforts from them in the future. And if you guys enjoyed the video, if you want to use the teams, the PokePaste with the EV spreads is in the description below. The rental code, of course, is in the top right of the video, as well as the description. Check out Pearl on Twitter. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, peace, y'all.